Greetings! This is the Solo Gamer. You can call me Matt, and as you can see on the screen, I'm doing some anime bullshit right now. All joking aside, this is Gundam Breaker 4. Or Gundam Breaker Blaze Beyond Borders, but that name is dumb and stupid. I'm just going to call it GB4 because that's what it is. It's Gundam Breaker 4. It's a proper sequel to Gundam Breaker 3. And it is essentially, New Gundam Breaker is now officially non-canon and never happened. Don't mention it, don't talk about it, leave it die. Now, that being said, what is Gundam Breaker? Well, Gundam Breaker was a series of games in Japan based around Gunpla, which is this very, very popular series of Gundam plastic models. Gunpla, Gundam plastic. And as the name indicates, it is a entirely unique, action combat game in the Gundam universe that features one of the coolest mechanics ever. You see, you don't just play as a standalone Gundam, like say in Gundam Warriors or in standard Gundam games. No, you're playing as a kid, playing a virtual reality simulator that allows you to build your own Gunpla. And this is mine. This is the Black Hand of Doom. Yes, I'm so edgy. No, I'm not Shadow the Hedgehog. I just like the color scheme. At least for now. I'm going to eventually change it out to something with more color to it, but for now I'm just building it based on parts and what I think looks right. But this is mine, as you can see. It looks pretty cool. But let us go ahead and demonstrate how this works. I'm doing just a real quick sort of one and done type of video on this. I might do more later, but right now I'm just doing a quick load up on this. But basically, after a few tutorials, you get into what's known as the proper game, and you can assemble your Gundam from parts. Now, right now, I'm using the Tall Geese head from Endless Waltz, like the head frill thing. But as you can see, I have an enormous amount of parts, including the All Strike, which I like that design. So I can swap that headpiece out immediately for this one and just move on. I can also do different body parts. I've already got the Easy 8. I could go with a Comfer if I wanted. Could go with Cryos, which I don't like the design of that. Too fancy. And then you got the... I could go with the All Strike, which matches my body parts and would actually give me a bonus. One of the neat things that this game adds is usually you paint the whole thing after the fact, but once you've painted parts, it remembers the color scheme and you can apply it automatically. Like that. And so as you can see, I've added the parts, and now I have these parts in my system. And then my right arm is this full armor, heavy duty, just beast of a weapon. Like, just murder machine type deal. And if I had to, I could use two, but I don't. I could do Zaku Warrior, I can do Standard Gundam, I can do Launcher Strike, Sword Impulse. You can actually build the full Gundam model, like down to everything, weapons and all. Or you can make what I do is I'm making a Franken Gundam, which is this beast of a machine. Right now I'm wearing Char's arm, but I think I'm gonna go back to the Gauf. Actually, no. I don't like that. I want something that looks a little bit more symmetrically appropriate. Save your Gundam. Need something with a little bit more bulk. Hey, that looks better. And I get some bonuses with the long range. Lose a tiny bit of health. Not a big deal. Also, if you notice that my unit is asymmetrical, yes, that's on purpose. But then now I have these legs, which I have the Aegis Gundam, the Savior Gundam, the Astre Frame, the Owl Strike, or the Wing Zero. And I think I'm going with Owl Strike because I like the boost in my health and speed. And it automatically applies my color scheme. And then backpack. Now I currently have this model Jin. I could go with the Serpent Custom, which gives me those heavy weapons, but I don't like its look. I could go with Infinite Justice, which has that cool backpack, but it doesn't fit with my shield. I can go with Freedom, which has a neat feature, but you notice I'd lose a massive amount of HEP because it's a lot more fragile. I can go Strike Rain. I can go Strike Rogue, which is this. Or I could go Launcher, which gives me that big cannon, but I don't need that. I think I'll stick with what I have for now. Then for long range, got my Mega Gatling in one arm. Gonna switch out my rifle on the other arm because there's a couple of different options I just picked up. High Energy Beam Rifle, Custom Beam Rifle, Twin Beam Rifle, which is literally just the other... it is literally just the other weapon from my other side, and it just it gives me a massive boost in firepower, but it means I lose a little bit of capacity. So yeah, it's it is just insanity. And then these are my current weapon sets. I got the Heat Saber Galf in one arm, and then I've got the Beam Saber in the other. And I've picked up a few other weapons, such as the Heat Hawk, the Experimental Twin Blade, but I'm keeping what I like because it works well. Then I have anti-beam shields, which I don't need. I think I just stick to the shield I have at the moment. Then you can also add extra parts like rocket launchers, beam saber, saber gear, essentially double bazookas, but none of that really suits my style or weaponry. So I'm gonna put these on, and then I also have these, and then of course you can do Burst Breaker, which I have not unlocked anything new for that yet. I won't be able to until I get a proper beam gear set up, but essentially I'm ready. I apply the changes. I save the blueprint. And then I enter the name. And if you're wondering about the name, it's actually a reference to a comic from the Darkest Night DC run, reference to a poem that one of the characters speaks. The line is something like young or old, foolish or wise, by my black hand the dead will rise. I forget the exact one. I'd have to go look it up. It's in my collection, but this guy got a Black Lantern ring from Necron, the Lord of Death, who's using it to raise all these dead superheroes, and that was one of the lines he speaks when he first appears. Honestly thought it was like the most creepy thing ever, because it's him standing over Batman's grave, raising the corpse. I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well.
This is the mission desk.
Alright, so how does this all work? Well, you've built your robot. Now you need to pick a mission.
Welcome.
There's story mission, there's quest mission, there's bounty hunter. Story is, of course, the game's story. Quest is, of course, additional missions that you unlock as you play. Bounty hunter is a one-on-one brawl with 3 enemies of your choice. And basically, they're all the various characters you meet throughout the game as you play, as well as a variety of other I believe, other player or developer created units. So, for example, these are all the different variants you can fight, and they're all based upon different models or designs created in the game. So as you can see, they're all sort of weird and unique designs. And the more powerful they are, the more difficult they are to combat, and the more they're worth. It's a neat thing, and it's a simple process. But honestly, it's like, I'm not interested right now. So let's do a quest. Do quest mission 3, I think. And I'll just demonstrate how the game works. Real simple like. Okay? Let's get started. Now once you've picked your mission, you can use a breaker booster, which I don't know that I need to. Or you can just hold A and start the mission. And off we go. And just like in every other Gundam Breaker series, when you get ready to roll, your mech gets a cool launch sequence, and it shows your mech. All the thrusters are accurate to the mech's design and body. Watch. See? Alright, now let's get into this fight. Now this particular version of the Black Hand is all about like sustained, constant, non-stop damage. I'm either shooting you or slashing you, and either way, you're going to end up in pain. See? Watch this. There's my melee. Double sword, Pain City. And I have a heavy machine gun on one arm, and a heavy beam cannon on the other. I can boost in on the A button. I can dodge, or I can block. Now you notice I can only do certain things for a certain amount of time. If I overuse my abilities, or if I push them too hard, they overheat, and I'll run out of their ability for a while. Weapons, boosters, all the same. And then as you fight, and the enemies continue to advance, ooh, he's got a whip weapon, I want that. You continue to build up energy that allows you to do super moves. And each weapon combo or setup can give you different combinations. Like this. Big plasma slice. And I'm hitting this guy with a rapid fire, keeping stun locked, and then I come in and just wail on him. And that's the thing, like, this game is all about building a mech that can just absolutely shit stomp your opposition. Like, no doubt, no question, this thing is, you want to build something that's absolutely just going to shred your adversaries. And this guy can. Like, I mean, just seriously, blew through 2 enemy forces in minutes. Because I built a mech that's designed for combat. It's not designed for aesthetics. It's not designed to look good. Well, not specifically. It's designed to get in there and massacre. Hello, knives. How do you like them? Not so fun. But yeah, you have two basic attacks. You have your X and Y buttons, which are your melee. Then you have your triggers, which are your guns and other firepower. When you clear a wave, you get scored, get points based on your score, and then the game immediately transports you straight to the next area. No hunting for gates, no searching for doors. It just takes you straight to the next battle. I actually like that. It's like there's no delay. The game is fast. And I like that about it. It's like it doesn't waste your time.
Keep an eye out for those targets.
Yeah, Gundam Wing series. And if you're a Gundam fan, you've already noticed just the sheer number of various suits. G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Buster Rifle. Even got SD Gundam showing up. Oh, Sandrock. I want your weapons, my friend. I so want those damn Shotals. Love those things. Among my favorite weapons in all of the Gundam series is those Shotals. In Gundam Breaker 3, my Shotal build was a literal walking apocalypse. Aww. You fall down, go boom. One thing that is interesting is that there doesn't seem to be a ground stab ability in this game anymore. And I think they did that specifically because it had a way of like instant killing targets, and that could sometimes cause like, especially on higher difficulties, real struggle and frustration, just absolute pain in the ass. So I think they took that out because they wanted this to be more straight up. Oh crap, beam swing. Alright, fine. How about that? And that's the thing, like this game is so fast, even compared to Gundam Breaker 3, which was fast by comparison to Gundam Breaker 1 or 2. This one is just lightning fast. You are constantly attacking. And depending upon how you have your system set up, you will absolutely just shred opposition. Epion and Gundam Wing.
Here comes the enemy ace.
Good. Let's make this quick. And this is Burst Mode. Burst Mode is essentially overdrive mode. You're essentially super powerful. Everything you do is massively enhanced. You can just simply wail on opposition non-stop, and it makes you almost unbeatable. And then when you're done, you can just unleash a massive single final blow. Very efficient, but you can only use it when its power gauge is full and it takes time to recharge. You can accelerate it by fighting well and doing damage to your enemies.
Okay, next one.
Now you'll notice I have a secondary weapon on this because I'm actually equipped with that other gear and equipment. So watch. Well, let's see what happens when I do this. This is shooting mode. You can actually go in and use a fixed center of gravity to use pure long-range firepower, which for certain builds is absolutely brilliant.
Good fighters rely on guts and grit.
On the other hand, for a melee-focused build like this one is, it's really not practical, and not against these guys anyway. It's meant really for the big, giant super bosses that you face in the story mode, because they have weak points you need to target. And you notice that I am taking damage, but my health is high enough to where they aren't really doing a whole lot to me. And that is, again, build. Now, when you start the game, you're going to be building mostly for survivability and damage. But as you get further into the game and unlock more parts and get more power, you will eventually get to a point where you can just really start ripping through enemies left, right, and center. And all your abilities can be used in conjunction with your other weapons. Like, you can be using this, switch to melee, and then immediately go into an assault mode and a super attack all at once. See, juggled him with the combo beam rifle. And depending upon your weapon loadout, they all have different effects. Like, this is a dual weapon loadout, which means it's all about speed and overwhelming rather than raw damage, but it also means that I lose certain special moves, like certain down strikes or other special abilities that weren't available with this weapon on its own. So I have to work with what I have. Gotcha. Beam rifle, dual beam rifle, two side, you're dead. And I win. See?
Another mission cleared.
And there you go. That's Gundam Breaker in a real simple nutshell. It's a straight out, like, full tilt action game, just like, here, build a giant robot and go kill shit. No questions.
Hey, look at that score. That was perfect.
No questions, no debate, no argument, no nothing. Just go to town and have fun. And at the end of every mission, you will get weaponry. Like, for example, this is a beam trident, but then you can also get this club-shaped weapon, which is from the G Gundam, or you can get this twin beam long rifle, which is from the Gundam Zero series, which is an exceptionally powerful weapon, and can do a lot of really cool crud with it. You also get head parts, body parts, other stuff. So like all these come in and you get them, but you'll notice that a lot of them are kind of crappy. Like if you have duplicates, you can just sell the duplicates off. I got 2 of the Sandrock, and honestly neither one of them is all that good. Got Sandrock's body, which is actually kind of cool, and Epion's body, which is actually kind of cool. I got the Induswalt's arm and one of the DX arms. Ooh, I like that. I also got a Master Gundam arm and 2 Gundam X arms. I like that too. Ooh, Dark Army legs. Those things are so stubby. Victory Gundam. 2 Victory Gundams. Yeah, one's a lower level Sellet. Gundam Scythe. And then backpack. Now you'll notice that these have levels and star. Level is its overall stats. Star is its rarity. Higher rarity, better stats in general, and more power. Alright, and we're done. And there you go. So that is Gundam Breaker. And it's definitely like a Gundam fan's wet dream made manifest. Like building your own Gundam, going into battle, fighting. There's a story, and it mostly revolves around, and it's basically a continuation from Gundam Breaker 3. Gundam Breaker 3 was about an arcade district in Tokyo that entered a tournament to save the arcade through notoriety and fame. Now, this technology has permeated so much, it's now part of the actual like mobile phone and portable device industry. You can play this on anything using the technology at hand. And this is actually an offshoot of a actual mobile Gundam Breaker game that came out that, to be fair, it wasn't bad, but it was monetization hell and never really took off. This is simply way better. It is so much better. And honestly, I love it. You can do dioramas, like you can make your own dioramas here, which is really cool. I mean, I'm not interested. Now, here's an interesting thing. This stuff always has costs, but you won't really have to worry about it because you will have like enough points in the long term to, get that back no problem, but that's a whole different story. All right. And then you can go in and do dioramas and stuff. It's a neat feature, and it's pretty cool. It's something that I kind of like. With this. I do kind of wish these. But like these are all the different groups that are in Iron-Blooded Orphans, The Witch from Mercury, Gundam Seed, Endless Waltz, G Gundam, Gundam Unicorn, regular Gundam, Gundam Z, Gundam Sentinel, which is double Z, and then there's the Charged Counterattack and all that. So you basically pick a Gundam, and then post them somewhere on the screen. It's neat because you can create little battle scenes and stuff like that. So you can create little action sequences using these. And so you can create visual effects anywhere you want. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat that you can make a diorama and, you know, make it look however you like. I kind of like the idea of it. And then you can do photography, you can take pictures. It's all neat stuff, especially if you're like big into like creating visuals and all that. I think it's pretty cool. But like, I don't know if I'd actually That's weird. I don't know why, but this thing has like a real hang up about certain words, which doesn't make any sense, but I guess it's because they're too generic. Alright. And then you can go in and you can add effects and other stuff. You can save it, you can delete it, you can do all that. And then when you're done, you can leave. See? Simple enough, but like I said, this game's essentially a Gundam fan's biggest wet dream. It's basically an action game that also features complete Gundam customization and a massive amount of replayability. Perfect for anyone interested in that kind of stuff. I love it. But that's me. I love this kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. This video ran a little longer than I anticipated. I might be doing more Gundam Breaker in the future because I do love Gundam Breaker. Might even backtrack into Gundam Breaker 3, show you the OG Supreme Gundam Breaker game. I haven't decided if this is better than Gundam Breaker 3 yet, but we'll get there. But anyway, this is the Solo Gamer. You may call me Matt, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.